It's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. How's it going?
It's going well. I mean, I think the real question is how's it going for you?
I feel good. I got to play Survivor. I was on TV. That was like something that I didn't even think was gonna happen. So I've been living a dream like since the show's been on.
Well, yeah, you started this season by revealing that you were an alternate that was picked very last minute to play the game. What was your decision to reveal? Because I mean, I think for a lot of players, the decision to reveal that might have come a little later, and you decided to do it right from the opening. So what made you want to do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that my thought going into the game, especially like as someone who didn't think he was gonna play, it's like I am like this bundle of like stress and anxiety and hopes and dreams, and it's like I think that I just want to get it out there. I
Yeah.
feel like it's so much about what my experience is right now, and I think that especially at the beginning of Survivor, I want to let people in, right? I want to let people know how I'm feeling, and even if it's not allowed, right? Even if it's something that gets left on the cutting room floor, I want to let it be known. I want to like make my record of like, yo, I like it's this is like an insane thing. You could get so many of those. Hi Jeff, I'm happy to be here, but it's like I actually like if I can just say it, like, dude, I was happy to be there, Jeff. Nice to
Yeah.
meet
Yeah. Well, tell me, go back to that moment when they told you, when you were there as an alternate, and then they told you actually you're playing. Like, what was going through your head in that moment?
It's crazy because it's like I don't know if you know, but it happened so last minute. It was like in the evening, right before players go to sleep,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, okay, well, they're pulled like I get pulled aside. I'm like, okay, they're gonna tell me my flight information because I'm gonna be on a plane,
Yeah.
like back home,
Yeah.
right? So they take me into the middle of the field and they tell me, Jason, how does it feel to be on season 49 of Survivor? And it was just my mind at that point was so resigned. I was like, this is really fun. This is a funny story for me to tell when I get back home. Like, dude, you're not coming home. You are getting on that boat tomorrow. Go to bed. And like when I heard it in that moment, like I lost control of my legs. I collapsed to the ground. I was like writhing and convulsing, screaming. I like, which I think is also part of why I brought it up in day one because I'm like, maybe people heard that scream last night and didn't realize that it was me realizing I was being on the show. But yeah, no, it was an out of body experience. And it's like after that, okay, we're playing Survivor. Let's figure out our strategy, right? I
Yeah.
did not sleep a wink that night.
That's what I was going to ask. I mean, I don't see how you could sleep that night. I would not be able to sleep.
No, you can't sleep out there. So I was like, it's just like, pinch me, I'm dreaming. Is this real? What's crazy is like, I wake up like day one, day two, day three. I look up at the stars. I'm like, oh my God, I'm like on Survivor. And I know that everyone kind of probably has a similar feeling, but I'm like, I should be in Southern California right now. Like
Yeah.
my fiance, like I don't know if my fiance, like I just wasn't on the plane, right? So she's expecting me home, and she's like across the ocean, thinking, "Oh my God, this boy is like like on a deserted island right now," and it's just the reality of it like sinks in. It's so surreal.
Well, so having revealed, do you think having revealed that you were the alternate impacted your game at all, looking back on everything?
I think that it really helped me sort of be honest with like I think that it's tough because Survivor is a game of deceit, but it's also a game of personal connection. So it's like where do you land on that spectrum? I think that by leading with oh, I'm the alternate, this is how I'm feeling right now. I think that that led me to play a very honest game, a very like telling people how I'm feeling about things.
Hmm.
And especially when it's like I straight up like hadn't mentally prepared myself to even play the game that much.
Yeah.
Like that was the lane that I picked. And I think ultimately that lane of like being very honest and being very like transparent about it is what made Hina feel very like united and helped us win the challenges. It also I think put me on the bottom when we swapped tribes, right? That like my transparency to the new Uli that like, hey, I just met you. I don't know if I can do what Shannon did, right? And make instant connections with every single person.
Yeah.
That was I think that colored almost everything that I did.
Yeah. Well, that's what I wanted to ask you is what do you think? along the way that your game went south before the ultimate being voted off? Like what do you think was the moment or a thing that happened that perhaps didn't work out in your favor?
What's tough is that it's like it's I think that the ability to look for cracks inside of an alliance, right? Because I think that we can just zoom the game forward to when we go to the swap.
Yeah.
And I think that that first vote, my thinking is I just need to put myself above Matt so that Matt is the first one voted out.
Mhm.
Luckily, Matt like kind of overplayed his hand and was kind of swept away, partially because of like his own like sort of missteps.
Mhm.
And while that's happening, I'm like trying to find the cracks. Obviously, there is one. Jawan is at the bottom, but it's hard to have evidence of what those cracks are when Uli themselves haven't voted yet, right?
Mhm.
It's easy to find a crack when it's like, oh, well, they didn't vote with me. Oh, they left me out of the vote. If no one's voted, all you have are just vibes. And honestly, Savannah had a lot of vibes for her tribe. She had a lot of opinions
Yeah.
for like not going to tribal for a week. She's like, I want you out. I want you out. I think that maybe if I clued in on that, maybe I
Mhm.
could have gotten a foothold. But
Yeah.
I think that it was just like it was hard to make plays because you don't have the numbers, and it was hard to get a sense of the rules of the road because Uli themselves are just in the same spot as Hina, right? Nobody has voted together.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was a tough spot for me.
Yeah, well, so then looking back on, because when you left, you told Jeff that, you're surprised you even made it 10 days, which I think is, it's a testament to sort of the very truthful game you were playing. You know what I mean? That you were really just sort of surprised to even be there. But so looking back at your 10 days, what's something that you think of as your proudest moment or the moment that you're like, I'm glad that happened. I'm glad that's on TV.
It's crazy because I know that like diehard Survivor fans love the backstabbing, they love the betrayal, they love the moves and the voting. I was so surprised to like feel really proud about the challenges.
Mm,
Like I remember like, and this is sort of like, let me like clue you into alternate brain. I'm
yeah.
all like, who's if I'm in the game, who am I replacing, right?
Mm,
And how is that going to affect the tribe? I'm like such a scrawny guy. I was like, well, no matter what happens, I'm going to be on the disaster tribe because I'm going to be replacing somebody who's like stronger than me. So I'm going to need to be able to like pull my weight in that way.
mhm,
And like lo and behold, like challenge after challenge is like this puzzle that ends things. And like I get the opportunity to put myself inside that driver's seat and help our tribe win. And it's
mhm,
like so not at all what I thought would happen. I thought that if I got on, it was going to be a struggle, but like it ended up being like this sort of like embarrassment of riches. And it's like that's crazy. And it's like especially when you're watching with friends and family, and like there are these moments in the episode where it's like, okay, this is like a very public victory, right? You can like celebrate with like your loved ones. Like that actually was like incredible,
yeah.
right? Like we're all gathered together like watching this thing that wasn't supposed to happen, and it's like
Mhm.
we are doing good at it. It was crazy, dude.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, so like watching it is a different experience than living it, clearly. So like what watching it were you surprised by that maybe you didn't know while you were out there?
I think that like just especially after the swap, like hearing how much people like were like talking behind my back. Especially, I think yeah, hearing that Savannah had beef with everybody, I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I didn't realize that. I thought
Yeah.
that she was getting along with everybody like at face value. I think that I don't know. It's also really interesting in Survivor where like intentions and perception are so divorced, right? Like hearing everyone on the swapped tribe being a little sussed out for me being honest about, being nervous about playing this shot in the dark,
Yeah.
where they're like, oh, well, he just wants to work with Hina. He doesn't want to work with us.
Mm.
I was like, oh, that wasn't my intention, but I think that that is sort of a signal to a player, right? So it's
Mhm.
like, oh yeah, like that sort of big gulf between what is said and what is heard. I thought was very interesting to hear.
Yeah. Well, my last question then for you is, looking now at everything, now that you know everything, is there any one person or group of people that you're rooting for to sort of go the distance?
MC, my twin, my fellow alternate, like, oh, I wish the world for her.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I love my Hina folks. I actually really like Jawan as well. Like I hope
Mhm.
that he can find a way to scrap out the bottom.
Yeah.
But yeah, those would probably be my two. Like I think that this cast has like a lot of great people and a lot of people to root for.
Yeah, amazing. Well, you were fantastic to watch on television, and I wish you all the best. Thanks so much for chatting with me.
Thanks for talking.
Yeah, talk to you later.